I still want to build on Coyote Pass. I hope that Meri builds a home out there. I know that she probably won't live there full time, but where she's around and she's there, and I really hope that Janelle builds out there too.
Really, Robyn? I nearly choked on my pizza when I heard that. Please give me a break. There's no way she actually believes that. I'm still stuck on why Coyote Pass would be split into 4 parts. Seriously, Kody and Robyn are one unit, right? She doesn't even have a job, so any money he put in came from both of them. And they're not divorcing yet, keyword, yet. So why on earth is Robyn getting a divorce payout portion? Honestly, the only fair way to deal with this is to get the lot appraised as a whole. Let's say it's worth $1 million. Then, Kody and Robyn would get 33.4%. Meri would get 33.3%. And Janelle would get the other 33.3%. Boom, problem solved. There's no need for a 4-way split. Kody and Robyn are legally married, so they count as one entity here. They don't get any special treatment just because they're married. That's their mess, not anyone else's. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. What did Meri do? Just watch the episode where Axel is born, and wow, Meri's really getting the short end of the stick here. So here's the deal. Meri didn't attend the birth because she didn't feel welcome. Then, Christine later rips her for not being there, saying it was awful that Meri didn't show up. But in the next breath, Christine admits that if Meri had gone, she wouldn't have felt safe because Meri brings a little of bristles wherever she goes. Oh, and let's not forget the image Christine paints of Meri looking like a beaten dog, a child who's been punished one too many times. Yikes, it's like a masterclass in backhanded compliments. Now, I'm not a Meri fan either, but come on, how much of this crap is fair? In so many episodes, Meri's actually the fun one, the one sledding with the kids or ice blocking. Sure, she's a clean freak, but that's about it. She never outright throws fits like Robyn or Christine, yet every single adult in that family seems to put Meri beneath them, barely tolerating her. The communication with her is flat, unemotional, like she's some sort of inconvenience. People love to bring up how Meri was supposedly unreasonable about her kitchen and didn't like the family traipsing through her space in Lee. And yeah, there were hints that she might have been verbally abusive to some of the kids. But seriously, what did Meri actually do? The show is always so vague about it. Kody keeps going on about how he didn't feel safe around her, but there's got to be more to the story. What exactly happened that we're not hearing? Now, let's get real for a second. This whole one-family polygamy dynamic, especially when enforced religiously, is a mess. Many polygamist families live entirely separate lives, but in this case, they're forced to face each other daily. It's all about overcoming jealousy and learning to be selfless for the afterlife. The thing is, though, when that kind of pressure builds up, you need a scapegoat. And who do they pick? Meri. Everything she says is wrong. She's blamed for everything, and eventually, she gets shunned. She becomes the target of all their frustrations and insecurities. Sure, Meri had her issues. She was abrasive, probably tough to live with. But honestly, they all had problems too. They all manipulated, all had unhealthy coping mechanisms, and they all played the game of one-upping each other. Meri was just more upfront about it, so she got slapped with the toxic label that she could never shake. Let's talk about Axel's birth for a minute. Maddie, understandably, only wanted Caleb and the midwife there when the time came. But nope, Janelle and Christine stomped all over her boundaries. They kept insisting she was in labor when she wasn't even close. It was a traumatic experience for Maddie, thanks to their incessant pushiness. The only person who actually respected Maddie's wishes. Meri, but did that earn her any points? No, Christine used it as an excuse to treat Meri like crap. It's crazy how Meri's treatment is often swept under the rug because she's not as liked as Christine and Janelle. But don't get it twisted. Christine and Janelle were not these saintly paragons of kindness. They didn't even get along until like 2 years ago. Meri had boundaries, and sometimes they crossed them, but they crossed hers too. Yet it's Meri who always ends up being held accountable. Meanwhile, the other wives, especially Robyn, seem to get a free pass for their behavior, all because of the abuse they suffered from Kody. But hey, Meri was also abused by Kody. Her whole catfish scandal became the perfect excuse for the family to treat her like dirt for years. And many fans are quick to say she deserved it for even thinking about leaving the family. Honestly, imagine growing up like Meri did, getting married young, only for your husband to bring in more wives, battling infertility while the love of your life has kids with other women, dealing with all of that while your husband treats you like garbage and lets the other wives parade their families in your face. It would break anyone. Meri probably feels like she has no control over anything except for her home, the one place she can try to hold onto some semblance of power. At the end of the day, I feel nothing but sympathy for Meri. She's been through so much, treated so poorly, and it's just heartbreaking to watch. How am I just now learning this? I had no idea Janelle helped buy Robyn's house. Sure, I knew they all pitched in for Kody Pass, but I didn't realize Robyn had this massive house they all helped pay for, and that she owns it while she and Kody are the only ones on the mortgage. Oh, and guess what else? Everyone chipped in to pay off Robyn's debt so she could qualify for her Vegas house too. Oh, and let's not forget that they also paid for my sister wife's closet. So Janelle and Meri helped with the down payment on Robyn's place, and Christine also dipped into the family account for the down payment on hers. Kody even wanted Janelle to use that same account for a down payment on a big house, because, he really didn't like her idea of a smaller home. But Janelle? She was like, no thanks, and stuck to her plan of focusing on Kody Pass. Honestly, Janelle's a bit ridiculous here. She kept draining herself to help fund things that weren't benefiting her at all. After Vegas, I wouldn't have given anything to Kody and Robyn. It was already painfully clear what was going on. And let's not forget, the show money presumably went into the family pot. They used that pot to buy the Vegas homes, and when those homes sold, the money went back into the pot again to cover Christine's and Robyn's down payments for their Flagstaff homes. People get so worked up over Robyn using that money, but let's be real. This family watched Meri get treated like an afterthought for years, yet they were more than happy to take her money too. No one here is coming out on top. Oh, Kody, seriously? How does this guy still have the nerve to manipulate Meri like that? She's finally in a good place. Actually, a great place. And here he comes, all upset and playing the victim, telling her he likes her now. Well, guess what, Kody? She's happy because she's not dealing with you anymore. She can finally be herself without having to tiptoe around your petty, egotistical nonsense. It's clear as day. This is just more emotional abuse. It's the same old mind game routine. Push, pull, repeat. He's been doing this for years. I really hope Meri can see this for what it is, manipulation. She deserves so much more than this emotional roller coaster. And honestly, I think she's finally had enough. But Kody's little performance will probably make her second-guess things again. It's not easy to break free from someone who's had that kind of control over you. And can we talk about Kody's confessionals for a second? The guy acts like the audience is completely blind. Does he really think we buy his whole "poor me, I'm the good guy" act? The breakdown scene was so transparent, so manipulative. It was like a toddler throwing a tantrum when they don't want you to leave, only to start playing the second you're out of sight. Being the favorite ex-wife of a man who clearly doesn't even want to be in her life. What a prize. Get over yourself, Kody. Seriously, Kody. He's so in love with Robyn, right? I mean, he claims he is, but honestly, it sounds more like he's trying to convince himself. He can't stop talking about how jealous everyone is of his perfect, monogamous life. But here's the thing. He's really just obsessed with the idea of Robyn being the one. But let's not kid ourselves. He liked having the freedom to bounce around and hang out with whichever wife was convenient at the time. Maybe he loved hanging out with his sons and some of the wives, but don't pretend he didn't enjoy the perks of a polygamous life. Zero responsibility, endless attention, and the ability to just float through life. Then COVID hit, and Kody tried to lay down some rules, like, hey, this is my house, and these are my rules. Well, that backfired spectacularly, didn't it? He never saw it coming, but his ego couldn't let him admit he might be wrong. Losing control like that? I mean, losing Christine and Janelle's support, losing the family dynamic? That was a blow to his fragile ego. And now, what's left? Stuck in a house with Robyn and her kids, which is so not the paradise he envisioned. It's a weird situation for Kody, because on the one hand, he wants to present this image of the perfect patriarch. But on the other hand, he seems terrified of his kids and Robyn's children. One wrong word, and it's like she'll jump down his throat. And let's not even get started on the whole, I have 4 wives and 18 kids thing. That used to be his claim to fame, right? But now that it's just him and Robyn with 5 kids, he's just another average dude. And he's stuck in a cycle of buying things, art, houses, whatever, but none of it fills the giant hole that is his family. It's almost painful to watch. Every time he gushes about Robyn being so pretty or shy, bleh, it feels like a performance. If he were really in love, he wouldn't need to constantly say it. It'd just be obvious. Polygamy worked for him because it gave him an out. He didn't have to deal with any real problems. If one wife was upset, no biggie, he could just move on to the next one. But Robyn, she's the one he's stuck with now, and it's clear she's not exactly the fun-loving partner he imagined. Now Kody's left trying to be the fun grandpa, but he's got a sour-faced wife who doesn't even like parties, travel, or having people over. Meanwhile, Meri, Janelle, and Christine are out living their best lives, enjoying everything they never could with him. And it really stings his ego that Christine, who he clearly thought so little of, was the first to break free. Then Janelle and Meri followed suit. But here's the real kicker. His kids don't worship him the way he thinks they should. In fact, they seem to prefer spending time with Christine, which is just a slap in the face for him. It's like Christine is the one person he can't stop focusing on, and she's enemy number 1 in his eyes. But you know what? Maybe that's the irony of it all. He thinks he wanted a monogamous life with Robyn, but it's clear she's just the last one standing. If she didn't want to play second fiddle to his old life, maybe he wouldn't have anything left. Maddie and Kody got married at 20, which, when you think about it, is just wild. Watching yesterday's episode, I had a bit of a moment. Aurora is older than Maddie and Kody were when they walked down the aisle, and Brianna's the same age. Let that sink in. But wait, there's more. Before that, Maddie tried to join the mainstream Mormon church, but shocker, not without Janelle's permission. Same with Kody. Yeah, nothing says you're an adult like needing a permission slip for basic life decisions. Talk about infantilizing your kids. And look, I'm not over here advocating for getting married at 20, way too young. But it's honestly hilarious to watch how Robyn's kids are handled compared to everyone else's. The infantilization is next level. These kids are 20, and they can't even go check out a church without a full-on emotional interrogation from mom. It's like they're asking for permission to breathe. They need to break free from that house and start living like actual adults. Honestly, that whole scene with Robyn and Kody was just, a big dramatic sit-down to talk about church. Are we living in the 1950s? Robyn's completely clueless about how to handle anything appropriately. Let your grown daughters make their own decisions, for the love of God. Let them live. It's always a trip looking at how people from different backgrounds end up. Like, I got married at 23, and then I look at my oldest, who's almost 20, and it hits me like a ton of bricks. No way. I can't even imagine. Watching Robyn's older daughters is honestly uncomfortable at times. Knowing their ages and then seeing how they act and communicate, it's just sad. They're like young teens stuck in grown-up bodies. If I didn't know their ages and just watched them, I'd swear they were 14 or 15. It's heartbreaking how stunted and infantilized they've become. What's with all these recent posts trying to convince us that Robyn is some misunderstood angel? You know, the ones where fans are suddenly told they're too harsh on her, yada yada yada. It's almost like we haven't been watching her for 19 seasons, forming our own opinions along the way. Geez, it's like Kody and Robyn's PR team is working overtime, trying to convince everyone that we didn't see Robyn cry, manipulate, and somehow worm her way into the family's #1 spot. Newsflash, nobody's buying this pretty and shy wife act or the whole misunderstood narrative. We have eyes, we have ears, and we've been paying attention. Honestly, I'm just so over this Robyn redemption arc. It's like clockwork at this point. And what's even more fascinating is how universally disliked Robyn and Kody are. They try so hard to get favorable edits from production. They even get to comment on what Christine, Janelle, and Meri say during the confessionals. And yet, it still doesn't work. It's almost like they're trying to force a narrative that just won't stick. Let's not forget, Robyn herself apparently asked for a more flattering edit between seasons 1 and 2, according to the book. I'm fully convinced that Kody and Robyn have hired a PR team to clean up their public image. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them or one of their kids is lurking in the comment sections, stirring the pot. There are so many new accounts suddenly popping up, all with the same tone, big capital letters, and a whole lot of negative comments aimed at Janelle and Christine. Their comment history, sister wives groups only. If you call them out, poof, comment deleted. Seems extremely suspicious. But hey, what do I know? Okay, so Kody's been pretty vocal about his issues with Meri, but let's not forget that in the beginning, and even throughout most of the series, he genuinely seemed to care about her. Here's my theory. Kody did love Meri. Then along came Robyn, who, let's be real, slid right into their relationship like it was her job. Robyn knew exactly what she had to do. Keep Kody and Meri apart and subtly influence his opinions about her. Why? Because, deep down, Kody and Meri actually made sense together. And that's probably why Meri stuck around so long. She was holding out hope that things would eventually turn around, like, oh, I know Kody. He'll come around eventually. But spoiler alert, he didn't. Even during the pandemic, Kody was still trying to spend time with Meri and see the kids, but Robyn, yeah, she wasn't having it. Kody may have been frustrated, but he eventually gave in. It wasn't what he wanted, and you could tell he was really upset about it when it all finally hit the fan. I mean, sure, by the end, Kody accepted the situation and said he wanted Meri to be happy, but let's not kid ourselves. He wasn't really on board with it until everything reached a boiling point. And we can all thank Robyn for gently nudging things along with her little manipulative push. But hey, maybe this could have worked out if Kody wasn't so distracted by his wandering eye. You know, the whole polygamy thing doesn't exactly help with relationship stability. Meanwhile, Meri, being her classic type of self, probably thought she could just force things to work with sheer determination. Remember when Meri encouraged Kody to ask her to dance? Yeah, he was still in love with her at that point. But then, enter Robyn with her ever-present help requests for funds and babysitting. Convenient, right? Robyn swooped in, seduced Kody, aka her best customer, and I'm pretty sure the whole catfishing scandal was just her way of getting Kody to finally stop caring about Meri. Oh, and I bet Robyn led Meri down the let's get a divorce path. You know, foreclosure or whatever. And Janelle? Yeah, she saw the writing on the wall long before this all went down. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.